When God gives you a dream, the dream will always be tested. The pressure in your life right now has a purpose. It's not crushing you. It's pushing what's on the inside of you out. It shows you who you are.
Walking into this race, I was already kind of putting limitations on myself. Got it, 51:51. Last time we were 39:39. As I was getting ready for this race, kind of had a word, and that word that was put on my heart was limitations. And I feel that I've done this my entire life. I've really just kind of put limitations on myself every single day, throughout everything, every year. The goal for the entire race is to hold like a 7 to 7:30 minute pace. Holding that from 1 through 8, I think that'll set me up to really cruise 9 to 13. I think we'll be good. I put the limitations on myself to only run 7:15 to 7:30 minute miles. And we went out and we crushed an average of 7:06. Who knows, I could jump out there and just run freaking 7:15 the whole thing and feel amazing. So that is just another testimony to never put limitations on yourself. Go out, do everything to the best of your ability, and crush your goals. Stretching for me, I don't really have a specific routine, whether I'm going out for a easy run, running a race, or going out to, do some quality work, speed session. My keys with stretching are to loosen up my hips, my hamstrings, my quads, and my calves. I gotta get to a point where these are just like easy. 26.2 is gonna be here before we know it. I definitely need to prepare better with fuel next time. But I feel great. I'm ready to get this rolling. This race, I did not prepare with fueling correctly. I woke up around 5 a.m. I knocked back some oatmeal, didn't weigh anything out, don't know how much I ate, but knocked back until I felt okay. 3 minutes before the race, I had half a banana, and then we were off. And I think moving forward, we're gonna be, have a lot of more structure with that. Leading up to this, days before, even hours before, the nerves and the jitters were out of this world. But for some reason, as you inch closer and closer to about 10 to 5 minutes out from the horn being blown, just kind of everything disappears. Here we have mile 1. This was my second race, and if there's one thing I learned from the first, it was not to jump out extremely hard and fast. So my whole goal with this was to jump out and sit around, that 6:15, more towards that 6:30 pace, just because I didn't want to tire myself out in these beginning miles. I wanted to save, a lot of my energy for the miles down the road, 12 and 13, things more than that. So rule number 1, do not run super hard in your beginning miles. Slow it down. I'm like running 7:05, 7:02. The first 3 miles, I was very, very nervous. My legs were absolutely killing me. I didn't know if my legs were going to hold up the entire race. The first 3 miles, my shins were giving me a little bit of pain. I thought I was going to, eventually get shin splints. My quads were kind of tightening up. For some reason, I think that I stretched a little too much. The other part of me is like, no, I don't really know what it was. I think it may have just been jitters, but weighing 205 pounds and being able to run a half marathon and hold a pace of around 7 minutes to 7:10 is truly impressive. I say that very humbly. I think that is extremely the wow factor in all of this, and it just excites me to keep going and really to inspire others that, you know, may want to run, but you feel like you are kind of on the heavier side, or, you know, there's just some doubts because you have placed these limitations on yourself. Set out to, you know, do whatever you want to do. Make these goals and go out and crush them.
Yeah, look, ayy, stay on leash for the energy. I ain't worried, give a fuck about the enemy. Beat his ass, got him thinking it was 10 of me. That's why tonight I'm on the weed, not the Hennessy. Niggas lying, but I tell you how it really be. Drop the game, I could sprinkle for infinity. I'm the player of the year if I do say, cause I treat a Saturday like a Tuesday. Can't do with the sauce for the soul food.
This'll make them believe I'm about to kill this. The purpose of running this second race was really to see the difference, what, you know, 3 weeks of training and prioritizing running could do versus not. Running my first race, I went into it, didn't have a lick of training, wasn't taking it serious whatsoever, and I put up a decent time. So I was truly curious, what could you do if you kind of took this serious and you trained a little bit and then went and gave it another shot? I really try to get in tune with the music, with my thoughts as well. I'm a big self-talker. I talk to myself, and it's really just like very like cliche stuff, you know, just how bad do you want it? Just keep pushing, you know, work hard, you know, you've put in the work to do this, you can do this, things like that. And I just say that type of stuff to myself over and over, and it truly does work for me. It works for me to talk myself through it, and that's kind of like what I focus on when I'm doing these races.
Show them how to make them triple O's from the couch. Nigga counting on luck, ain't a life plan. I might have the last laugh for a lifespan. Hey, I be out of town all the time, out of blood rush. You be out of line, out of bounds, out of comeback. I be out of time where it does at. You be telling lies in your rhymes, where your fun's at.
I'm going to take whatever distance I'm running for that specific day, no matter if it's a workout or a race, and I'm going to chop it up. And so for instance, for this race here, I was only focused on the first 5 miles for the first beginning of it. I'm not thinking of 10 miles. I'm not thinking of 13. I'm thinking of the first 5. I just want to complete those first 5. And then now once we complete those, now it's back the next 5. So I'm going back to 1. You know, we're starting it over. Back to 1, and then once we complete those 5, I've now completed 10. I have 3 more miles. I can do anything for 3 miles. So just being able to chop those up, it's a lot easier for me mentally, and it truly does help me out a lot. Miles 8 through 13 were all done on this trail. The trail was extremely boring, so you were left with nothing to do but just sit in your thoughts and hope to stay at the pace that you were hoping for. My goal here was to just get to mile 10. So 8 through 10, I was feeling good. You know, in my mind, it was just you have 2 miles to go. Miles 10 through 13 were all about, hey, you can do this. You've got 3 miles. We'll just handle it when we get there. But going through here, 8 through 10, it was really just like, let's push through. Let's, keep this pace going. Because at this time, I really knew that if I could stay steady with this pace, I could really PR this race.
You are now in the presence of a king.
This here was mile 12. Mile 12 was all gravel. We had to go down a little bit of a trail. This was pretty tough within the distance of this race. Going from pavement, cement the entire race to then gravel and then some spots of grass. It was a bit different. Legs were feeling extremely heavy, so that didn't help it at all either. But we managed to keep up our pace here. We knew that we were almost there, and this was going to lead to a really big PR.
You are now in the presence of a
So there we have it. Crossed the finish line to my second half marathon ever. Came in at an official hour and 32 minutes. That gave us a pace of 7 minutes and 6 seconds. At the end of the race, I was definitely fatigued. Given that last 2 miles, I really pushed myself, and I really felt it. I felt it at the end of the last mile. I really don't think that I could have gone any further. I really think that I gave my all with this race. But that leads into my next point, which is what's to come. Now we are going to continue the training. We're going to ramp it up a bit, and we're going to run 2 more half marathons before we really dive into full marathon trainings. So stay tuned, and let's continue the journey.
king.